else is watching. This is Uncle Martin, and I am live again on the 25th of Thursday. And, well, I got to go to work, but I don't think I'm going to go with this shirt because Mr. Mudball just jumped up on me. Yeah, that's my rescue. And I got another one here. Loves cookies. He'll bury it. He won't eat it. Got to go to work soon. This is going to be a short one. I was going to say, I've got something in mind, but I don't know. I was thinking if anybody had a question out there, I'd like to have a question. Although tomorrow, Friday, will be question and answers. Friday, every Friday. I think I missed a Friday, so we didn't have any questions or answer time. Anybody out there ready for a question for Uncle Martin? If not, I'll have to. I know every time I start my true stories, everybody has a question for me. That's funny how that works. Okay, so yesterday was pretty important because it was you can be cured, all right? And it's it's very important that we understand that we all can be cured, no matter what malady you have. Um, there's things that are kept from us so that we're not cured. This has been for forever, really. Even back in Pythagoras' day, that was Pythagoras was a healer. He's a mathematician. Pythagoras Pythagoras was. I'm going to go into him. He had numbers that just go off the scale. We're still following Pythagoras. People don't even understand what he was talking about, and this was only like 2,500 years ago. Actually, specifically, it was 2,594 years ago. Pythagoras was healing people without cutting anything out. He was doing it by vibration, hertz, yes, hertz, and color. I'll go into that. But if he was doing it 2,500 years ago, why is it taking so long for our medical people to follow what he was doing? That's why I did the last episode. You can be cured. All right. Um, on basically any malady that you brought on yourself, and I'll go into that another time. I know people are born with maladies, but that could be karmic. But when you get to a certain level and you were okay, and all of a sudden you're not okay, then you tend to be bringing these things on. It's through your understanding. A lot of our understanding has been misrepresented into falsehood, into misrepresentation. The sun's not coming down yet. It will be momentarily. I got to put some glasses on. Looks like somebody's saying hi and all that stuff, and I didn't even get to say hi to you, whoever it was. Yeah, it looks like it's on review. Could be a troll. I don't care. All you guys are welcome. Okay. INAQ Wiseman. Hey, how you doing? Hello. I like Wiseman, especially the three that came and were over Bethlehem. Keith Williams. Hey, Keith Williams, how you doing? And sure. Yeah. Looks like you're from maybe India or Iraq or Iran. Wiseman, how are you? I am doing well by God's grace. Thanks for asking. As I was saying yesterday, I did the hertz, the different hertz that the different machines that shatter cancer cells, viruses, like glass, just shatters them. We knew about this in the 20s and 30s, and somebody took it away from us. And that's what I was talking about last episode. You can be cured. It was a big one. Anyway, if you ever have time, check it out. I don't care but I am concerned. Okay, Officer, my name Channel Wiseman. So I am from Chef. Wow, Cheformak. Is that around Czechoslovakia? Maybe. I don't know. What's the closest town to you? INAQ. Wiseman. I like Wiseman. I consider myself, well, healthy, wealthy, and wise. So what I was going to say is, I wanted to, okay, can you pronounce my name? A lot, my streamers can't. It's IMAP. I am. Hey, is that like Seymour Butts? Hey, Wiseman, you are so old. No, Wiseman, you're not very wise. You know what? You know why? Because there's not old or young. That's a lie. That's a lie like our history. We are not old, we are not young. We have more experience, we have less experience. Uncle Martin has a lot of experience. That's why I'm doing this. Forget about old and young, if you can. I started not thinking about old and young when I was in my 30s. That's right. At the 33, I was 33. Then I realized that old and young is a fallacy. It's not true. It's not true because from the time you have, well, your memory is pretty low at 1 year old, but when you get up to 2 and 3, you're blowing out candles. You're seeing a progression here that every year you get more candles. You get to blow out more candles until probably you can't blow out candles. My point being, we've been fed information that is limiting. Limiting is old. It's not old. It's more experience. Man, if you get this across in your mind and your understanding of things, you'll never age. All right, you'll get younger every year, and you can do that, by the way, with the right mindset. I'm trying to get over to where. Yeah, there we go. Okay, Brookie, it is. It is what? You gotta be more specific, Brookie. There's a lot of things that is. Actually, you can look at it this way. Why are things happening? Because it just is. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so yesterday I talked about the hurts of shattering cancer cells, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. I went through the whole list, for crying out loud. They got these machines that'll do that back in the 20s and 30s, and it was taken away from us by the authorities in charge, saying, yeah, I don't think these people need this. And I'm not going to go into who they were because it's just too negative. I think we could think about it. You get more money with, well, taking a pill, right? Come on, think about it. So I just want to get into the understanding that this, because I brought up 432 hertz, and that is the body's, the body, the universe, the whole planet. 432 is harmony. Okay. Now 432 hertz. There's a discrepancy when you Google this. They say, "Oh, it's only a myth." It's only a myth. It's only a myth that 432 hertz are harmony. Yeah, right. Because well, at one time I found out 440 went against the heartbeat, but I can't find that now. They say that's only a myth. 440 is not against the heartbeat. Or no, wait. They said it does affect some people. 440 negatively. That's all they put now. So they keep taking things away after you. I wrote them down. That's right. I wrote them down a couple of years ago because I knew it was going to be happening. So I'm just going to go back to 1834. 1834 in the Stuttgart Conference. This is in Germany, by the way. They wanted to put 440 hertz as one of the tunings of Germany. and for the world. And by the way, it was knocked down. They didn't want it in 1834. But guess what? When Joseph Goebbels, is that a name anybody remember? Joseph Goebbels. This guy remembers it. Well, he doesn't, not this lifetime. Joseph Goebbels was the second in command from Hitler. Now, and he knew, Joseph Goebbels knew Hitler back in like 1924. Just give me a little heads up here. They knew each other. In fact, he idolized Hitler, Joseph Goebbels. So Joseph Goebbels was put second in command in the well, okay, not yet until 1933. Now, in 1933, that's when I believe it was in January of 1933, Hitler became the counselor. He was a counselor. He was the head guy. He was put in charge of Germany in 1933. Now, isn't it interesting that he gave Joseph Goebbels the authority to do a lot of things? And by the way, it was like January of 1933, and it only took 2 months. January, February, well, 3 months, right? My dyslexia keeps it. January, February, March. It was in March. In March, the Gustag, it was a building that was burnt down, and it was the building that they voted from, Democratic parties that voted for people. Well, that was burnt down. 3 months later, after Hitler was put in power of the people, and right after that, forget about it. It was the SS that came in, and everybody else that it was then became a dictatorship as of 1933 of March, I guess. If you look at history, just look it up. Vet me this. Tell me I'm wrong. I'd love it if you think it is, unless they start changing things on YouTube again or Google. They do that. So this is what my point is because of everything I talked about yesterday about the hertz. A hertz is like 1 hertz is 1 second. 440 hertz is 440 hertz a second. This is pretty fast stuff, right? It's kicking through. And what does it do to you? Well, as I said before, 432 hertz goes with the heartbeat. 440 goes against heartbeat. And I'm saying, oh, maybe it's just a coincidence. Could be just a coincidence. Maybe. Maybe not. When Joseph Goebbels made 440 hertz a standard for Germany. And why would that be? Well, because he was in charge of radio and television. Did you know that, kids? Anybody watching? He was in charge of radio, and that's where propaganda came in. Propaganda. That's where they tell you things. And you might as well look on the reverse side of it, pretty much. So since 440 was easier to produce for radio, oh, this is fantastic, isn't it? Not only does it go against your heartbeat, and it closes up, as I said yesterday, on the you can be cured. It closes the third eye. All right, we have 7 chakras. We have the base chakra, which is basically to stay alive, and then you go on up. I'll go into chakra someday, but the third eye one is where kind of everything opens up for you. You're able to see things, but you're not able to see things under 440. It closes the third eye. Maybe this is just a coincidence. I'm just saying. I'm just giving you some facts here that you might want to fact check me on, you know. Not probably, well, yeah, definitely go whatever distance you. Some people already know what I'm talking about, and I'm giving a lot of meat out there. And normally I don't do that, but we're coming into the end times, and people have to know what's going on. That's all. Our eyes are being closed, now they're getting opened. All right, they're getting opened. The more intensity, not only of the sun, but the vibration of this planet. The vibration of this planet is having a rebirth. People are having a rebirth. Whether people want it or not, we are all progressing spiritually on a higher level. Some are going higher, some are going lower. That's just the way it seems to go. And it's by what your thought is, what your feelings are, how much love, light, and understanding you have, or how much hatred, mild dislike, and fear and doubt you have. That would be going downwards, by the way. You'll never go upwards with that. Uh, it's just the way it works. And that's okay, because either way, if you're going down or up, you're still going to learn. We're on a learning planet, and we all get to learn. You can't call anybody stupid. You know why? If you call someone stupid, that means they can't learn. Even people with, with whatever level they're on, they're still learning. Even an idiot, he's still learning. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So getting back to the hurts, I didn't tell you you can be cured. Excuse me. You can be cured. The last episode. Now, that was on the Rife machine and other machines that shatter Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, cancer, what is that? Lyme disease. A ton of things that it just shatters like glass. These machines. Now, I'm not saying you have to go to machines. I believe you can do this also by not using machines, but that would be another story. But it is out there if you want to look into it. Okay. Now, the point with the hurts. Now, as of 1933, we know Mr. Joseph Goebbels made it mandatory for everybody to get it in 440 hertz in Germany, which they've been trying to do for 100 years. And this guy finally put it across. Hey, he was a very negative individual. So just look at his. Ye shall be known by these fruits. You know, come on, think about it. So from 1933, we shoot down to 1955. 1955, for some God only knows reason, it was officially the worldwide tuning for every instrument. 440 hertz was officially 1955. The whole planet Earth had to go under 440 hertz. I think there's some diabolical things going on here. I mean, I could see Germany. Well, I'm half German and Italian, but I'm saying there's some positive Germans out there. I'm not, just as all cultures have positive and negative to them. But I'm just saying how we are under a film of vibration that is stopping our third eye from opening. And someday, those that understand, and even those that do understand, when you ask for your third eye to be opened, hey, there goes Brandy, right on cue. It's my other feral. All her family was eaten by a dog that ate cats. And I trained that dog at 20 years old not to eat cats anymore. And that dog, Lucy, lived until 25. She's a border collie. I got that in my back episodes. So the whole world was changed by 440 hertz. Was it an accident? No. I'm beginning to think maybe it's more than a coincidence. So when you ask spiritually for your third eye to be opened, you want a ring of white fire around you, the tube of light, that white light that's around you at all times, hopefully consciously. And when you have that, and then you ask for your third eye to be open, you ask the angels and God to open it gently, because you will get what you ask for eventually. And the last thing you want to know and see is everything that's around you that you can't see right now. That's all I'm saying to that. It's something to think about. Put it on the back shelf. By the way, everybody that's out there that's watching Uncle Martin, can you pronounce my name? Yeah, you're the funny guy, Brookie here. Okay, Brookie, you're pretty funny. I like cosmic humor. Seymour Butts. Is your name Seymour Butts? I love that episode. So we got a lot of things going on that nobody's really talking about. A lot of lies that we've been force-fed. spoon fed. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Spoon fed. It was 2009. I had a dream. The only reason I had the dream is because this guy, he's a multimillionaire. He kept coming by my car. He wanted to hear esoteric truth, the truth of truth, which I'm basically giving you guys right now, but probably it's between milk and meat, all right? And I mean this by, I'd give him, I mean, he was like fascinated. He'd listen to me like for hours, you know. Then, you know, he would trot on. This is up at, this is like, I was a cab driver at the time, and I was waiting for, what was it? It was up in North Scottsdale. It was a nice little run back to the airport. And so I was feeding the birds. That's where I got the Four Seasons, where I got bit the second time right here by the brown recluse. It's back in the episodes of the second time bitten. You might want to check it out, maybe not, but I've been bit a few times by a brown recluse. The only way you get rid of a brown recluse bite is you go to the hospital and get a bunch of shots, or you work it off. And I didn't do either one of those things at that time, because I had the remedy right there in my house, right in my car. But that would be the second time bitten. So I'm there. I'm talking to this guy about every day, and he keeps coming by. In fact, I did, I still do, magnifying glasses like on forks and spoons and stuff like that. So I did one up for him. I had all the sacred symbols from Egypt and Babylonian and Sanskrit. I just put it on the spoon. He says, oh, I said, hey, here's a gift. He says, oh, this is fantastic. I said, no, but I want you to use it. I don't want you to just put it up on like a ledge. I want you to use this wooden spoon. It's a high wooden spoon. I want you to stir your food with it. And he said, oh, yes. And I found out later, he put it up on a shelf. So the same guy, he keeps coming by every day. And I'm giving him meat. I'm giving him a lot of meat. That's the highest of truths of spirituality. And so finally, one night in 2009, it was 2009, kind of remember it well. Why was that? Because it was very vivid. It was a very vivid, colored dream. I was I was serving someone at a table. I was serving them milk, and I was serving them a big fat steak on their plate. Now he was cutting into it with his knife and fork. He was eating away. He finished the whole steak, and then he went over to the other side of the room, the floor, and he just, actually he had a little bit of the steak in his hand, and the other part, when he went over to this, he threw it up. He threw up the steak, and the other part of the steak, he threw it on the ground, and said, thank you very much, and he left. So it was the next day he shows up. He says, hey, you got any more true stories on the esoteric stuff? And I said, you know what? I don't. I was shown in that dream that I was giving him too much information. I was giving him meat that he couldn't consume. Because not only was he throwing it up, but he threw it on the floor, and I believe he stamped on it. He stamped on the meat, he threw it up, stamped on it, and the spiritual understandings of life I was giving him, he was not ready for. I believe it was Apostle Paul. Wasn't it him? Corinthians, something with 34 maybe in there. I don't know. Numbers really dyslexia kind of. If you look up just biblically milk versus meat, you'll get the whole gist of it. That society is ready for milk because they're not spiritually advanced enough to consume the meat. And I know I'm throwing a lot of stuff out there for people, and it's just that we're coming into some accelerated times, and I want to give some people understandings of the truth that maybe are able to spiritually grow. The rest is just put it on the back shelf, you know, to the best of your ability, because most of you have left anyway, unless you're very curious. but maybe that might help you too, your curiosity. So I got to go to work. Um, Tomorrow, I think I'm going to be off enough to where I can maybe even start at 2 o'clock. I don't know. I'm going to try to do earlier than later because a lot of folks, you guys out there, India, you're like 10 hours away and all that. So at 5 o'clock, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, you little night owls out there. So if I can get like 2 o'clock, that means at 12 o'clock, you can go to bed. Or you're just up all the time. I don't know. All over the world has been watching Uncle Martin and giving me your sort of feelings. I'd like to have more information as far as where you're from, what questions that you feel most pertinent, from your heart. Anything from your mind. It's pretty much, I'll go into that heart and mind stuff because there is a difference between your mind and your heart. Another day. So, anybody that's out there, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down. I would like a comment after I post this. And of course, share Uncle Martin with a friend. Especially the last episode I did. You can be cured. This is stuff the medical field does not want you to know. And as you watch it, you'll see why. There's a lot of money involved here. People over profit. When you're a doctor and you do no harm, you are living under the code of doctors. When doctors do not live by the code of do no harm, it's time to get another doctor. All right? Yeah, that's the way I see it. And personally, I just don't go to doctors or hospitals unless they're, I don't know, it was brought up, physician heal thyself. And to this day, by God's grace, no medication. Although some people say, hey, you should be medicated. Well, I'm sure that would be very negative then, because I have an alertness, an awareness, and a memory that goes back to when I was 22 months old with no medication. Now, I've done a lot of drugs, but that would be another story, which I don't do anymore. So it's positive, negative to anything. I believe a lot of kids out there and whoever's watching, the reason you do drugs, on the most level of doing drugs, more than them being addictive, I think you're searching for a spiritual understanding, a spiritual height, a spiritual guidance. Those doing peyote and mushrooms and all you guys out there doing the sacred sorry. When I lived with the growers, they say if I mentioned weed one more time, I wouldn't get any. So I said, hey, pass the herb. They couldn't say anything. I'm just saying, I don't do that stuff anymore, and I'll go into that. I was on top of the list for doing all that stuff. I could outdo anybody. I mean, that's the way Uncle Martin was. I was able to be in control at all times. Control at all times. Be master of your temple. Until that one time. And I'll go into that maybe someday. So, anybody out there left? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Share Uncle Martin. Give me subscribe to me if you want. If you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe to you. And that's the way I feel about it. I got to go to work. I'm in a white shirt, but I got to go change it because this guy on top of me is a mud ball. So I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe earlier than later, but if you subscribe, you'll know when I'm going live. All right. Otherwise, you might have to catch when I repost it. Everyone leave a comment if you can. Otherwise, be well. God victory. I'll see you very shortly.